Welcome, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. Chelsea, if you'd like to start the webinar for us, and I'll start with introductions. My name is Mark Rudner. I am the Senior Vice President of Sales here at Online Vacation Center and Enrichment Journeys. Also with us, Chelsea Blake, the Director of Product Development. She focuses exclusively with our value inclusive brands as well as, value inclusive packages as well as our enrichment journeys. And she'll be able to take you through an extensive what's new and additional details there. So as we thought about this webinar. We wanted to have the opportunity to kind of present what's new and all of the additional information. I know there's just so much noise in the marketplace on a consistent basis. So to take a moment to highlight the incredible offerings that we have at Enrichment Journeys, and I appreciate the time you're taking with us. Now, if you're new to Enrichment Journeys, the thoughts that we have and kind of our brand awareness, we feel like Enrichment Journeys are very thoughtfully curated travel experiences that combine premium cruises with immersive land programs in destinations around the world. We focus on delivering exceptional value, seamless planning, cultural enriching experiences that help travelers connect more deeply with the places they visit. And that's kind of been our methodology as we've created this brand. And we'll give you a little bit of background at Online Vacation Center. We've been in business for 50 years. With that, we've been selling and creating land packages for over 20. And with that, we felt the interest to kind of expand. And as many of you know, we have our value inclusive packages. And with the start of Enrichment Journeys, I want to kind of give you a background. Much of our value inclusive packages, which many of our clients have taken, include typically a cruise, a 2 nights pre, 2 night post. If depending on the actual embarkation and disembarkation, it includes airfare and transfers. Very kind of seamless experience. And many of our clients, after they get back, they rave about their experiences, eliminating the logistic frustration. But the question that kind of always comes up in our conversations is, what if we had more time to explore here? And with that question, we kind of took that deep thought into that internally. And we want to see if we could actually give our clients a little bit more time and more to explore while they are in those amazing destinations. From that, we knew internally that we had a dedicated air department, a dedicated operations team with over 100 years of combined travel experience. And we've sold a tremendous amount of products all over the world. And with that, we were able to kind of utilize our expertise to create something truly exceptional. And we've been in business on the enrichment journey side since 2012, and we've done an excellent job with many different areas of the world. And before I steal all the thunder, Chelsea, I'm going to kind of stand down here and kind of allow you to talk about the additional enrichment journeys background.
Sure. Thanks, Mark. I'm going to spend a few moments just kind of going through the process. This is one of the questions that I get a lot from clients. How do you create a journey? How do you decide which journeys to create and which destinations to go to? So we usually start planning 2 years in advance, and that starts when the cruise lines deploy all of their itineraries. Once all of the itineraries are released, we can get to work. And so we'll look through all of the itineraries that are available. We'll choose obviously the most compelling cruise itineraries, which ones are new and different. We've never seen them before. Maybe some we have seen before, but they're best sellers. We know that our clients always enjoy going on them. So we kind of try to get a mix of those. We'll also look at things like the seasonality. When is it busy season? We'll try to avoid busy season. Um, and what destinations are around it. So, a lot of times there are destinations that we like to go to that are not accessible by cruise ships. So, the Taj Mahal in Switzerland and some of these inland destinations really it's hard to get to or it's impossible to get to by ship. And so we really try to make sure that the land tour that we're pairing is paired with a really good cruise itinerary that's nearby. Um, the next step in the process is to reach out to our local partners. We have some incredible partners around the world. I can't say enough about them. Fun fact, most of the partners that we work with around the world, they work with the cruise lines. They work directly with them. They are the companies that are running your shore excursions when you're on the ship. And so they are well aware of the quality standards that we expect, the type of venues, the restaurant quality, the hotel quality that we're looking for to make sure that all of our tours are up to the level of standards that you would expect and that we would expect. Um, we kind of like to use the swan as an analogy that on the surface, everything should be running nice and smooth. Everybody's having a good time. But then underneath the surface, there's a whole team of people that are, paddling our little feet, trying to get everything running. We're reaching out to the restaurants. The tour guides are calling ahead of time, making sure that everything's going to be ready by the time we get there. The hotels have been checked. All of the arrangements and the tickets and everything's done. So you've got a whole team of people, both here in the United States and on site with our local partners in the country, all working together to make sure everything runs smoothly. Um, Cultural immersion is an extremely important part of our enrichment journeys. They're called enrichment for a reason. And I will say it's one of the most fun aspects of putting together the tours as well. Um, and it's one of the things that our local partners, when they are suggesting things to include on the tour, that they enjoy suggesting to me because they're really proud of their heritage and they like sharing these experiences with you, with the clients. So I have various examples on here. These are just a small sample of the things that we include on our tours. And really, the entire tour should be an enriching experience, but we like to include kind of one or two highlights that really get you into the culture, whether it be a tea ceremony. There's a photo here that's from South America, but we do tea ceremonies in Asia as well, and each country has their own different way of doing it. There's a ceramics demonstration, culinary demonstrations. We do in Peru, you can see one of our clients is feeding the alpacas and the llamas. We also do kangaroo feeding in Australia, where you can go and interact with the kangaroos. We bring storytellers. We do this in Ireland, Iceland, countries that have a long history of folklore. We like to bring in a professional storyteller to kind of give some of the stories from their folk. It's really a fun and interesting experience. So all of these are really important, and we always include this type of a cultural aspect in our tours. In the case where we are unsure about certain things, or especially in this example, this was the very first time we had run a program in India. We had never run a program there before. And so to make sure that everything is up to our standards, I did go to India ahead of time before any of our clients arrived. I checked all of the hotels. I went to all the restaurants, the venues. They gave me some of the some of the restaurants. You can see they gave me a sampler platter where I can sample all of the different meals that we could serve so that by the time the clients got there, everything had been checked out. And we were sure that everything was going to run seamlessly. So let's get into some new things. We have some new things going on, some announcements for the Enrichment Journeys brand. As many of you know, pacing is extremely important on a tour. There needs to be a really good balance between seeing all the sights and, we don't want to go to Paris without getting a photo in front of the Eiffel Tower. We will definitely include that. But we also need to have free time and time to, take a stroll and do some shopping and poke into a cafe. And having that independent time is really important as well. So, as of this year, I'm doing a complete review of all of our itineraries, and we're checking all of them for the amount of independent time that's included to make sure that we have a little bit more flexibility and independent time in all of our tours. The next announcement that I have is that we are dedicating ourselves to being small group tours. Now, on average, our tours are 14 guests, which is well below the industry standard that is very much considered a small group tour. And that's the average anyways. But in the case that we do have a very popular itinerary, we in the past had pushed up the size to 40, and we are now going to cap them at a maximum of 28 guests. So, starting with our new journeys, all of the programs will be a maximum of 28 people per tour. This is another question that I get quite frequently, so I wanted to talk about it because it's an interesting topic. Some itineraries we run every year. Actually, some of them we do more than once a year for our popular itineraries. Some of them we run every other year, and then some of them are unique one-time opportunities. We do it one time and that's it, never again, or once in 10 years. And sometimes I get the question, why this mix? And sometimes it really just comes down to the cruise lines, the cruise itineraries. Sometimes, so I'll use Iguazu Falls as an example. Celebrity runs a Antarctica cruise round trip Buenos Aires every single year. And it's one of our more popular tours. And I pair it with Iguazu Falls every single year, sometimes twice a year. And I will continue to do so until Celebrity stops running that cruise. And then there's other ones where, especially with Azamara and Oceania, they have very unique itineraries that they don't necessarily do the same itinerary every year. I'll use one example. There was, I think, back in 2017, so a few years ago, Oceania ran a cruise from Lima to Tahiti, and it stopped at Easter Island along the way. It was an incredible cruise itinerary. And so I was like, yes, this is a great one. Let's package it. I packaged it with Machu Picchu, and then get on the ship in Lima, and then off to Tahiti and Easter Island you went. And then they never ran the itinerary again. It was kind of a unique one-time thing. Until 2 years ago, Azamara did the same program. So I did offer it again 2 years ago, but it really just depends on when the cruises are running. Another example is Azamara, up until now, has always done round trip Cape Town. And they're no longer going to do that route. Some of them kind of go all the way around to Africa, but they're no longer doing the round trip Cape Town itineraries. So starting next year, we're going to do our Africa program that goes to the Safari Lodge, which is an incredible, luxurious safari lodge. And we do our whole land program there. We go to Victoria Falls and Cape Town, but we're doing it as a land only. It's a 10-night program, just by land. And so we're always adapting. We have to stay flexible, and we're always adapting to what the cruise lines are offering with their cruises. So I'd like to take a moment to just kind of highlight and dig a little bit deeper into one of our most popular programs, and that is Tuscany. And I know many of you have been to the Enrichment Journey website. If you haven't, I encourage you to do so and poke around. We have a lot of really great information on our website. And so you can see the photos there in the day-by-day itinerary, but I wanted to show you what it was like actually on the tour. I was fortunate enough to join our Tuscany program a couple years ago, and it starts at the hotel. We arrived to Florence, and this is actually the hotel that we use in Florence. Starting last year, we started using the Baglioni Hotel in Florence. And this is me. I took a selfie up on the rooftop terrace of the hotel. It has an incredible panoramic view of the entire city. You can see the Florence Cathedral and the Duomo in the background. And that photo to the left, that is the table in That's a table in the breakfast area. So this is where you're eating breakfast every day. You have an incredible view out to the city of Florence, and then you can step outside onto the rooftop terrace outside to get some really nice photos. So that's just on the arrival. This is the hotel you'd be staying at. On the first day of the tour, we do a pasta making class, which was so much fun. You can see all the smiles in the photo. We're having a good laugh. But we don't just do it anywhere. We have our pasta making class at Villa Machiavelli. This is actually Machiavelli's villa, where he lived and wrote The Prince back in the 1500s. And the staff there do an incredible job. We had an amazing time. We made pasta, we made biscotti. It's a 600-acre property with vineyards and all in the background. And then you have wine, of course, from the local vineyard. It was just an incredible experience and just fun. It was really fun. Day two, you can see food is a big theme here on this tour. We went to a local farmhouse in between kind of visiting some of the towns. We went to a local farmhouse. And on the photo on the right, I know it looks like a very simple photo. I took this photo as we were starting our meal. But in the wine glasses, you can see some of the wine that we were tasting from the local vineyards, of course. We have bread that was locally made. It was drizzled with olive oil that was harvested right there on property. And then there was several different herbs, some salt, on the table that you could try with it. So that salt mixed with the herbs, there was some jam, local honey. And this was just the bread course. It was such a great experience. And the rest of the meals, as you can imagine, were great as well. We did also visit some towns and some historical centers. On the left is the town of Volterra. They were having a local festival there, coincidentally, which was lovely to kind of go and walk through. They were waving the flags and had some music and drums going. And then we stopped at the town of Greve on the right-hand side. You can see we went to a local butcher shop. They've been there for generations. It's one of the oldest butcher shops in the Tuscan region. And they had their prosciuttos and salamis and all the local cheeses. So there was no shortage of food on this tour. We had a wonderful time. So that was just a little insight on kind of the experiences that we got during that tour. So what's ahead? What's upcoming for 2027? As before I move to the next slide, I just want to take a moment to admire this photo. This is Lake Bled in Slovenia, which is on one of our upcoming tours. It's right at the foot of the Alps. Is the Alps in the background? It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous area. Before we get to 2027, I want to mention that there are still a few tours available for 2026. So we do have our Tuscany program that's paired with Celebrity. We also have a Milan, Lake Como, and Ravenna program that's also paired with Celebrity. And I will mention that as you are driving from the lake region, from Lake Como down to Ravenna, we do stop in Parma and Modena. So you'll get to sample some of the local Parmesan cheese and balsamic vinegar along the way. We do stop at some factories and do some visits. One of the brand new tours that we have for 2026 is the Balkans. That's an extremely interesting itinerary, a lot of very picturesque landscapes that goes from Serbia all the way down to northern Macedonia and down into Greece to embark the cruise in Athens. And this one's very interesting because there are 4 different cruise lines that are embarking in Athens. So you have 4 cruises to choose from: Celebrity, Azamara, Holland, or Princess. And then the last one for this year is this is very much a foodie tour as well. Iberia's Art, Wine, and Culinary Treasures. That starts in Madrid and goes up to Bilbao, which is one of the centers for culinary. It has one of the highest number of Michelin star restaurants in the world in that little region. So that one's a great tour for foodies. Available in early 2027. We have the Ancient Temples of Angkor Wat. That is paired with Celebrity. We have our Bali program. This one's extremely popular this year. It's Bali, Malaysia, and Thailand. That is paired with Celebrity, and then we also have it available as a grand voyage on a back-to-back. So the cruise goes from Bali all the way up to Singapore, or you can keep going on the grand voyage, go around, cruise around Vietnam, and end in Hong Kong. And then we also have our Bali program paired with Angkor Wat as well. So you can get both land tours in one journey. You can do the Bali program, which is along the beaches and visiting a lot of the temples and historic sites in Bali. And then once you disembark in Singapore, you have the Singapore tour and then fly up to Cambodia to visit the Angkor complex. Going down to South America, we have our Iguazu Falls and Antarctica. As I mentioned, this is one of our most popular tours. As you can see, the photo on the right, that photo is from Iguazu Falls. That's paired with a celebrity cruise to Antarctica. We have our Buenos Aires, Brazil, and Spain cruise. That the cruise starts in Buenos Aires. It does a transatlantic along the Brazil coast and ends in Barcelona. And the land tour before that is in Buenos Aires. Going over to Australia, New Zealand, we have our Outback program that includes Sydney, and then we go up to Uluru to see not only the Uluru Rock, but we also have kind of an Outback experience and dot painting and a lot of really interesting things in the Outback that you can pair with either Celebrity or Princess. And then we have South Africa and Victoria Falls, as I mentioned before, doing some of the a very luxurious safari lodge for several days during that program, along with Cape Town and the falls. That one is land only, as I mentioned previously. And now for some of the brand new things. Some of these are released yet and just recently released, and some of them have not been released yet. So you're hearing it here first. So if it's not available, stay tuned. They will be released within the next couple months. So the first one we have is Versailles, Normandy, and Paris. That's a lovely program. That has some of the countryside and gardens, and then obviously some of the historical sites in Normandy. That's paired with a celebrity cruise. We have our Emerald Isle, the Irish countryside program. That's always a favorite. It starts in Dublin, ends in Belfast, and then you'll fly to London to get on the ship with either Celebrity, Princess, or Oceania. We have our Tuscany program. It's coming back in 2027, paired with Celebrity. We are bringing back, by popular demand, Switzerland. We did not run Switzerland in 2026. We're bringing it back. That is paired with Celebrity or Oceania. We have an Iceland program, which is also popular. We do Iceland every year, though this time we are adjusting the program a little bit. Instead of driving all over the island, because the cruise circumnavigates around the island, there's no need for the land program. So the land program, we're staying closer to Reykjavik and we're elevating the experience. And so we do visit the geysers, the tectonic plates, the national park. We visit the waterfalls. But then we also have a relaxing day at the Blue Lagoon. We have a nice leisurely meal and do some culinary experience. So that one's a nice program. We are bringing back our Milan, Lake Como, and Ravenna program again for 27, paired with Celebrity. Again, back by popular demand, we are bringing back our Loire Valley program. That one goes to the French countryside, all of these chateaus that kind of dot along the Loire River. There's just there's so many of these beautiful chateaus, and you could spend just months there visiting all of them, but we choose a few of the highlights, the most splendid ones, the ones that inspired Sleeping Beauty and all of those. And we have a really nice program, some food experiences there as well, and that's paired with Celebrity Oceania or brand new for this year, Explora. And then we have two brand new itineraries. We haven't done these yet. I'm very excited about them. I am still putting them together. They are not finalized yet, but I wanted to announce them here while we're doing the webinar. We are doing a Croatia and Slovenia program. That was that beautiful photo from a couple slides back with the Alps in the background. This one is really for people that are nature lovers. There's a lot of really picturesque landscapes. Croatia has the Plitvice National Park, where there's just cascading waterfalls, one after the other, and you can do a boat ride on the lake to go visit all the waterfalls. And then as we go into Lake Bled, you get closer to the Alps. You have the mountains in the background and the lake. It's just beautiful, a beautiful region. And then Oceania has their embarkation is right on the border with Slovenia and Italy, so we don't have to go very far to embark the ship in Trieste. And then the last one that is brand new, it's a program that goes from Madrid to Lisbon. I don't have a name for it yet, but it started with I was talking with our local partners in Portugal, and right on the border with Portugal and Spain, there is a coffee factory where you can go in and see how they roast the beans and do the whole coffee, and of course sample some of the coffee while we're there. And then right next door there's a chocolate factory, and so we can also go in, sample some of the chocolates, see how they make them, and go through the chocolate making process. And so that's where the conversation started, and we're really going to build what will be an elevated culinary experience. We're going to have a little bit more refined and elevated experience on this tour in particular, as this one is going to be paired with Oceania, Viking Ocean, or with Regent Seven Seas. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mark to talk about our private journeys.
Chelsea, can we just stop and talk about your journeys? Those sound amazing.
Yeah.
Um, we also are able to do a lot of customization with a program that we have called our private journeys. With our private journeys, it is, for instance, in this picture is Machu Picchu. I was unable to join the group for the year that we did Machu Picchu, but I was able to work with our operations team to identify another time to experience the enrichment journeys in Machu Picchu. And because of that, we created our private journeys and allowing individuals, families, there are many different church groups, neighbors that are able to kind of customize their enrichment journeys their way. And with that, we've seen a rate of interest and success with those, where you're looking at enrichment journeys and might not quite fit, but you have a group of individuals, family members, again, church, and neighbors that you'd like to go along with. You're able to reach out to your personal vacation manager and set up time to talk with our operations team to kind of get that started. For example, during that time, I was able to have in Machu Picchu and Lima private city tours, one-on-one time with the museum specialists, and more. It was an excellent experience. With those private journeys, the guides are with you essentially every step of the way. We had an amazing guide take us to the Sacred Valley. There's actually a picture on the bottom right where there was a peaceful protest going on with the farmers. They actually put large rocks in the middle of the street where we essentially were unable to go down this road. Luckily, we had an amazing driver as well as our tour guide helping us circumnavigate very calmly through the Sacred Valley to our beautiful hotel selected by the Enrichment Journey program. And it's just very special to know that the logistics are essentially taken off your plate. There's no real stress as there are things that happen during a trip that you might not have planned. Um, they're also able to set up experiences that might not necessarily be in the enrichment journey program initially. This is an example where our team was able to set up a top 50 in the world restaurant for me and my wife. It is a meal we talk about 10 years and probably till the day we die. On the top right, or excuse me, the bottom right, they have at Ashering they had a dessert called the Candy Shop. and it was this drawer that they opened, about 10 to 20 different drawers of different candies, treats, that they were able to offer to us. I asked how many, and they just said as many as you want. Luckily, my wife was there to kind of slap my hand, so I only took a few of them, but it was an incredible experience. Um, and then adding to your tour, there are options with our enrichment journeys to add additional nights. For example, in the Machu Picchu enrichment journey, we actually wanted to look at going to the Amazon and experience that. There's a picture with my wife going at the treetops in the Amazon rainforest. We also wanted to spend a little bit more time in Machu Picchu with our private tour. We were able to do that, and we had a tea making class, which was a pretty special experience. So it's just another option for you all to look at if the dates might not work or you're looking for a more private experience. As I mentioned, we've been in business on the Enrichment Journeys program since 2012. A lot of our clients love it. A lot of our repeats. It's kind of what we love to do, and we're keep getting great feedback and looking to what's next. Chelsea's done an excellent job finding what's next. We have two exciting tours that you kind of talked about for 2027, and we appreciate all of our customers' response and the making new reservations for the next enrichment journey. And we appreciate that and want to kind of share those exciting comments. This is a shameless plug, Chelsea. I apologize, but it is our online vacation center summer sale starting tomorrow. It's 2 weeks. We have a tremendous amount of offerings with many of the major cruise lines that you know of. We get exclusive deals that we work with, specifically with the cruise lines and their inventory team, their revenue team, to be able to provide you with additional amenities, discounts, and all of that. And that starts on the 6th tomorrow. It's one of our biggest sales, if not the biggest sale of the year. I know that many of you on this webinar have personal vacation managers that you can reach out to for something that is there. But also in the summer sale is we have an additional Enrichment Journeys offer. With that, with all of the additional amenities that we're able to provide you with the specific cruise lines, we also have an additional Visa gift card of up to $400 on select Enrichment Journeys. Please make sure you're reaching out to our personal vacation managers. They'll be able to identify the additional $400 Visa gift card for you during booking during our summer sale, which is May 6th through the 19th. And then lastly, I just want to thank everyone for the time. I know there's a lot of places where you can spend your afternoons. I appreciate Chelsea. Thank you for getting diving into all of the information that we have on the enrichment journey. A lot of exciting things, even for 26 close in, but 27. And I know Chelsea's probably closing her eyes dreaming of 28. So I appreciate that. On Enrichment Journeys, you can always go to our website below. We also have a phone number, but our personal vacation managers are well trained to answer many, if not all, of the questions that you have on Enrichment Journeys. And we're excited to hear where you want to go next.
And
Chelsea?
if they don't have the answer, they reach out to our team and we'll get the answer for them,
Yeah.
you know.
Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate you spending the time with us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.